Okay, so I'm going to move on to King Lear. I've never heard of this. I mean, I've heard of it, I guess. But I don't know anything about it. King Lear. Act 1. Scene 1. A room of states in King Lear's palace. I thought the king had more effect as the Duke of Albany than Cornwall. It did always seem so to us. But now, in the division of the kingdom, it appears not which of the dukes he values most. For equalities are so weighed that curiosity in neither can make choice of either's moiety. Is not this your son, my lord? His breeding, sir, hath been at my charge. I have so often blushed to acknowledge him that now I am braced to it. I cannot conceive you. Sir, this young fellow's mother could, whereupon she grew round-wombed and had indeed, sir, O son of her cradle ere she had husband for her bed. Do you smell a fault? I cannot wish the fault undone, the issue of it being so proper. But I have a son, sir, by order of law some year elder than this, who yet is no dearer in my account, though this knave came somewhat saucily into the world before he was sent for, yet was his mother fair. There was good sport in his making, and the whoreson must be acknowledged. Do you know his noble gentleman, Edmund? No, my lord. My lord of Kent, remember him here as often my honorable friend. My services to your lordship. I must love you and sue to know you better. Sir, I shall study deserving. He hath been out 9 years, and away he shall again, the king is coming. Attend the lords of France, and Burgundy, Gloucester. I shall, my liege. Meantime we shall express our darker purpose. Give me the map there. Know that we have divided in 3 our kingdom, and 'tis our fast intent to shake all cares and business from our age, conferring them on younger strength, while we unburdened crawl toward death. Our son of Cornwall, and you, our no less loving son of Albany. We have this hour consent will to publish our daughters' self-dowers that future strife may be prevented now. The princes France and Burgundy, great rivals in our youngest daughter's love, long in our court have made their amorous sojourn, and here are to be answered. Tell me, my daughters, since now we will divest us both of rule, interests of territory, cares of state, which of you shall we say doth love us most? That we our largest bounty may extend what nature doth with merit challenge. Go, narrow. Our eldest born, speak first. Sir, I love you more than words can wield the matter, dearer than eyesight, space, and liberty. Beyond what can be valued, rich or rare, no less than life with grace, health, beauty, honor. As much as child e'er loved or father found, a love that makes breath poor and speech unable. Beyond all manner so much I love you. What shall Cordelia do? Love and be silent? Of all these bounds, even from this line to this, with shadowy forests and with champions ridged, with plenteous rivers and wide-skirted meads, to make this lady to thine and Albany's issue. Be this perpetual, what says our second daughter, our dearest Regan, wife to Cornwall. Speak. I am made of that self-metal as my sister, and prize me at her worth. In my true heart I find that she names my very deed of love, only she comes too short that I profess myself an enemy to all other joys, which the most precious square of sense possesses, and find I am alone, felicitate. In your dear highness, love. Then poor Cordelia, and yet not so, since I am sure my love's more richer than my tongue.
We're headed to the war zone.
To thee and mine, heredity ever remain, this ample third of our fair kingdom, no less in space, validity, and pleasure, than that conferred on genre. Now, our joy, all that our last, not least, to whose young love with vines of France and milk of Burgundy try to be interest. What can say you to draw a third more opulent than your sisters? Speak. Nothing, my lord, nothing? Nothing. Nothing will come of nothing. Speak again. Unhappy that I am, I cannot keep my heart into my mouth. I love you, majesty, for my song, nor more nor less. How, Cordelius, mend your speech a little, lest you may mar your fortunes. Good, my lord, you have begot me, bred me, loved me. I return those duties back as our right fit. Obey you, love you, and most honor you. Why my sister's husbands, if they say they love you all? Haply, when I shall wed, that lord whose hand must take my plight shall carry half my love with him, half my care and duty. Sure I shall never marry like my sisters to love my father all. But goes thy heart with this? Aye, good my lord. So young and so untender, so young, my lord, and true. Let it be so. thy truth and by thy dower, for by thy sacred radiance of the sun, the mysteries of the Kate, and the night by all the operation of the orbs from whom we do exist or cease to be. Here I disclaim all my maternal care, propinquity and property of blood. Nay, can I not read a book, and has the strain of my heart and me hold thee from this forever? The barbarous Scythian, or he that makes his generation messes toward his appetite, shall go to my bosom, be as well neighbored, pitied, and relieved, as thou my sometime daughter. Good my liege. Peace, Kent. Come not between the dragon and its wrath. I loved her most, and thought to set my rest on a kind nursery, hence and avoid my sight. So be my grave, my peace, as here I give her father's heart from her. Call France. Who stirs? Call Burgundy, Cornwall, and Albany. With my 2 daughters' dowers digest the third. Let pride, which she calls plainness, marry her. I do invest you joints with my power, preeminence, and all the large effects that troop with majesty. Ourselves by monthly course with reservation of 100 nights. By you to be sustained shall our abode make you by due turn. Only we shall retain the name and all the addition to a king. The sway, revenue, execution of the rest, beloved sons, be yours, which to confirm this coronet part between you. Royal Lear, whom I have ever honored as my king, loved as my father, as my master, followed as my great patron, thought on in my prayers. The bow is bent and drawn, make from the shaft. Let it fall rather, though the fork invade the region of my heart. Be Kent unmannerly, when Lear is mad. What dost thou do, old man? Thinkest thou that duty shall have dread to speak when power and flattery bows? To plainness honor's bound, and majesty falls to folly. Reserve thy state, and in thy best consideration check this hideous rashness, and to my life, my judgment. The youngest daughter does not love thee least, nor are these empty-hearted, whose low sound reverb in the hollowness. Kent, on thy life, no more. My life I never held but as pawn, to wage against thee nine enemies, nor fear to lose it is safe to be in the motive. Out of my sight! See better, Lear, and let me still remain the true blink of thy eye. Now by Apollo, King, thou swearest thy gods in vain. O vassal, miscreant, dear sir, forbear, do kill thy physician, and the fee bestow upon the foul disease. Revoke thy gift, or whilst I can vent clamor from my throat, I'll tell thee thou dost evil. Hear me, recreant, on thy allegiance hear me, since thou hast sought to make us break our vow, which we durst never yet, and with strained pride to come betwixt our sentence and our power, which nor our nature nor our place can bear. Our potency made good, take thy reward. 5 days we do allot thee of provision to shield thee from diseases of the world, and on the 6th to turn thy hated back upon our kingdom. If on the 10th day following thy banished trunk be found in our dominions the moment of thy death, away by Jupiter, this shall not be revoked. Fare thee well, king, sith thus thou wilt appear. Freedom lives since, and banishment is here. The gods to their shelter take thee maid, that justly thinkest and hast most rightly said. And your large speeches make your deeds approve, that good effects may spring from words of love. Thus Kent, old princes, bid you all adieu. He'll shape his old course for the country new. Here's France and Burgundy, my noble lord. My lord of Burgundy, we first address towards you, who with this king hath rivaled for our daughter. What in the least will you require in present dower with her, or cease your quest of love? Most royal majesty, I crave no more than hath your highness offered, nor will you attend to less. Right, noble Burgundy. When she was dear to us, we did hold her so, but now her price is fallen. Sir, there she stands. If aught within the little seeming substance of all of it, with her displeasure peace, and nothing more, may fitly like your grace, she's there and she is yours. I have no answer. Will you with those infirmities? She owes, unfriended, new adopted to our hate, dowered with our curse, and strangered with our oath, take her or leave her. Pardon me, royal sir. Election makes not up on such conditions. Then leave her, sir, for by the power that made me, I tell you all her wealth. For you, great king, I would not from your love make such a stray to match you where I hate. Therefore beseech you to urge your like in a more worthier way than on a wretch whom nature is ashamed almost to acknowledge hers. This is most strange that she, who even but now has your best object, the argument of your prey, the balm of your age, the best, the dearest, should in the trice of time commit a thing so monstrous, to dismantle so many folds of favor. Sure, her offense must be of such a natural degree that monsters, it or your foe vouched affection fall into taint, which to believe of her must be a faith that reason without miracle could never plant in me. I yet beseech your majesty, if for I want that glib and lip art, to speak in purpose not, since what I well intend, I'll do it before I speak, that you make known it is no vicious blot, nor other foulness, no unchaste action or dishonored step, that hath deprived me of your grace and favor, but even for want of that for which I am richer, I still soliciting and such a tongue that I am glad I have not, though not to have it, hath lost me in your liking. Better thou hast not been born, than not to have pleased me better. Is it but this, a tardiness in nature which often leaves the history unspoke that it intends to do? My lord of Burgundy, what say you to the lady? Love is not love when it is mingled with regards that stand aloof from the entire point. Will you have her? She is herself a dowry. Royal Lear, give us the portion which yourself would propose, and here I take Cordelia by the hand, Duchess of Burgundy. Nothing I have sworn, I am firm. I am sorry that then you have so lost a father that you must lose a husband. Peace be with Burgundy. Since such respects of fortune are his love, I shall not be his wife. Fairest Cordelia, that art most rich being poor, most choice forsaken, and most loved despised, thee and thy virtues here I seize upon. Be it lawful, I take up what's cast away. Gods, 'tis strange that from their coldest neglect my love should kindle inflamed respect. Thy dowerless daughter, king throned to my chance, is queen of us, of ours, and our fair France. Not all the dukes of Waters Burgundy shall buy the unprized precious maid of me. Bid them farewell, Cordelia, though unkind, thou losest here better where to find. Thou hast her France, let her be thine, for we have no such daughter, nor shall ever see that face of hers again. Therefore be gone without your grace, our love, our benison. Come, noble Burgundy. Bid farewell to your sisters. The jewels of our father which washed eyes, Cordelia leaves you. I know you what ye are, and like a sister am most loath to call your faults, as they are named. Use well our father. To your professed bosom I commit him, but yet, alas, stood I within his grace, I would prefer him a better place, so farewell to you both. Prescribe not us our duties. Let your study be to content your lord, who hath received you as fortune's alms. You have obedience scanted, and well are worth the want that you have wanted. Time shall unfold what plighted cunning hides, who covers faults at last, shame them derides. Well may you prosper. Sister, it is not little I have to say of what most nearly appertains to us both. I think our father will hence tonight, that's most certain, and with you next month with us. You see how full of changes his age is. The observation we have made of it has not been little. He always loved our sister most, and with what poor judgment he hath now cast her off appears too grossly. 'Tis the infirmity of his age, yet he hath ever but slenderly known himself. The best and soundest of his time hath been but rash, then must we look to receive from his age, not alone the imperfections of long and graft condition, but therewithal the unruly waywardness that infirm and caloric years bring with them. Such unconstant starts are we like to have from him as this of kin's banishment. There is further compliment of leave taken between France and him. Pray you, let us here together, if our father carry authority with such dispositions as he bears, this last surrender of his will but offend us. We shall further think on't. We must do something and eye the heat. Seen to you all in the Earl or Gloucester's castle. Thou, nature, art my goddess to thy law. My services are bound. Wherefore should I stand in the plague of custom and ferment curiosity of nations to deprive me, for that I am some 12 or 14 moonshines lack of a brother, Why, bastard, wherefore base? When my dimensions are as well compact, my mind is generous, and my shape is true, as honest madam's issue. Why brand they us with baseness, bastardy, base? Who in the lusty stealth of nature take more composition of fierce quality than doth within a dull, stale, tired bed, go to the creating a whole tribe of fops, got between sleep and wake? Well then, legitimate Edgar, I must have your land. Our father's love is to be the bastard Edmund, as to the legitimate. Fine word, legitimate. Well, my legitimate, if this letter speed, and my invention thrive, Edmund the base shall top the legitimate. I grow, I prosper now, God stand up for bastards. Kent banished thus, and France and Kohler parted, and the king gone tonight, subscribed his power, confined to exhibition, all this done upon the gad. Edmund, how now? What news? So please your lordship, none. Why so earnestly seek you to put up that letter? I know no news, my lord. What paper were you reading? Nothing, my lord. No? What needed then that terrible dispatch into your pocket? The quality of nothing hath not such need to hide itself. Let's see. Come. If it be nothing, I shall not need spectacles. I beseech you, sir, pardon me. It is a letter from my brother that I have not all or read, and for so much as I have perused, I find it not fit for your overlooking. Give me the letter, sir. I shall offend, either to detain or give it. The contents, as in part I understand them, are to blame. Let's see. I hope for my brother's justification he wrote this as an essay or tape on my virtue. This policy and reverence of age makes the world bitter to the best of our times. Keep the fortunes from us for olderness, cannot relish them. I begin to find an idle and fond bondage in the oppression of age tyranny, who sways not as it hath power, but as it is suffered. Come to me, that of this I may speak more. If our father would sleep till I waked him, you should enjoy half this revenue forever, and live with the letter of your brother Edgar. Conspiracy. Sleep till I waked him, you should enjoy half this revenue. My son of Edgar, had he a hand to write this? A heart and brain to breathe it in? When came this to you? Who brought it? It was not brought me, my lord. There's the cunning of it. I found it thrown at the casement of my closet. You know the character to be your brother's? If the matter were good, my lord, I durst swear it were his, but in respect of that I would fain think it were not. It is his. It is his hand, my lord, but I hope his heart is not in the contents. Hath he never heretofore sounded you in this business? Never, my lord, but I have often heard him maintain it to be fit that, sons at perfect age and fathers decline, the father should be as ward to the son, and the son manage revenue. Oh, villain, his very opinion in the letter, abhorred villain, unnatural, detested, brutish villain, worse. Go, sir, seek him, I'll apprehend him. Abominable villain, where is he? I do not well know, my lord. If it shall please you to suspect your indignation against my brother till you can derive from him that which has made me of intent, you shall run a certain course, where if you violently proceed against him, mistaking his purpose, it would make a great gap in your own honor, and shake in pieces the heart of his obedience. I dare pawn down my life for him, and that he hath writ this to feel my affection to your honor, and to no other pretense of danger. Thank you so. If your honor judge it meet, I will place you where you shall hear us confer of this, and by an auricular assurance that have your satisfaction, and that without any further delay than this very evening. He cannot be such a monster, nor is not sure. To his father that so tenderly and entirely loves him, heaven into him, I pray you frame the business after your own wisdom. I would unstate myself to be a due resolution. I will seek him, sir, presently convey the business, as I shall find means, and acquaint you with all. These late eclipses in the sun and moon portend no good to us, though the wisdom of nature can reason it thus and thus, yet nature finds itself scourged by the secret effects. Love cools, friendship falls off, brothers divide, and cities mutinies, in countries discord, and palaces treason, and the bond cracked between son and father. This villain in mine comes under the prediction. There's son against father, the king falls from bias of nature. There's father against child. We have seen the best of our time. Machinations, holly, treachery, and all lunacy villains follow with this quality to our grave. Find out this villain, Edmund. It shall lose thee nothing, do it carefully. And the noble and true-hearted Kent banished his offense, honesty, 'tis strange. This is the excellent foppery of the world, that when we were sick and fortunate, often certified of our own behavior, we make guilty in our disaster the sun, the moon, and the stars, as if we're villains by necessity. Fools by heavenly compulsion, knaves, thieves, and treacherous spherical predominance. Drunkards, liars, and adulterers by an enforced obedience to planetary influence, and all that we are evil in, by a divine thrusting on, an admirable evasion of a hoar master man to lay his goatish disposition to the charge of a star. My father compounded with my mother under the dragon's tail, and my nativity was under Ursa Major, so that it falls I am rough and lecherous. Foot, I should have been that I am had the maiden Leas star in the firmament twinkled on my bastardizing. Edgar and Patty comes, like the catastrophe of the old comic. My cue is villainous melancholy, with a sigh like Tom Obedience. Oh wait, these eclipses do portend these divisions. Fa, sol, la, mi. How now, brother Edmund? What serious contemplation are you in? I'm thinking, brother, of a prediction I read this other day, what should follow these eclipses. Do you buy yourself with that? I promise you the effects, he writes, of succeed unhappily, as of unnaturalness between the child and the parent. Death, dearth, disillusions of ancient amities, divisions, in state menaces and maledictions against king and nobles, needless dividences, banishment of friends, dissipation of cohorts, nuptial breaches, and I know not what. How long have you been a secretary of astronomical? Come, come, when saw you my father last? The night gone by, spake you with him? Aye, 2 hours together. Parted you in good terms? Found you no displeasure in him by word or countenance? None at all. Bethink yourself wherein you may have offended him, and at my entreaty forbear his presence till some little time hath qualified the heat of his displeasure, which at this instant so rages in him that with the mischief of your person it would scarcely delay. Some villain hath done me wrong. That's my fear. I pray you have a continent forbearance, till the speed of his rage go slower, and as I say, retire with me to my lodging, from which I will fitly bring you to hear my lord speak. Pray you go. There's my key. If you do stir abroad, go armed. Armed, brother. Brother, I advise you to the best. Go armed. I am no honest man if there be any good meaning towards you. I have told you what I have seen and heard, but faintly nothing like the image and horror of it. Pray you away. Shall I hear from you anon? I do serve you in this business. A credulous father and a brother noble whose nature is so far from doing harms that he suspects none, on whose foolish honesty my practices ride easy. I see the business. Let me, if not by birth, have lands by wit, all with me's meet that I can fashion fit. Scene 3, a room in the Duke's of Albany's palace. Did my father strike my gentleman for chiding of his fool? Aye, madam. By day and night he wrongs me. Every hour he flashes into one gross crime or another that sets us all at odds. I'll not endure it. His nights grow riotous, and himself upbraids us on every trifle. When he returns from hunting, I will not speak with him. Say, I am sick. If you come slack of former services, you shall do well. The fault of it, I'll answer. He's coming, madam. I'll hear him. Put on what we're negligent you please. You fellows, I'll have it come to question. If he distasteth, let him to my sister, whose mind and mine, I know, in that are one, not to be overruled. Idle old man that still manages these authorities that he hath given away. Now by my life, old fools are babes again. They must be used with checks of flatteries when they are seen abused. Remember what I have said. Well, madam, and let us knights have colder looks among you. What grows of it, no matter. If I your fellow so, I would read from hence occasions, and I shall. That I may speak, I'll write straight to my sister, hold my very course. Prepare for dinner. Scene 4 are all the same. If but as well I other accents borrow, that can my speech diffuse my good intent, may carry through itself that full issue for which I raise my life. Now banish Kent if thou canst serve, where dost thou stand condemned, so may it come. Thy master whom thou lovest shall find thee full of labours. Let me not stay a jot for dinner. Go, get it ready. How now, what art thou? A man, sir. What dost thou profess? What wouldst thou with us? I do profess to be no less than I seem, to serve him truly that I will put me in trust, to love him that is honest, to converse with him that is wise, and says little to fear judgment, to fight when I cannot choose, and eat no fish. What art thou? A very honest-hearted fellow, and as poor as a king. If thou be as poor for a subject as is for a king, thou art poor enough. What wouldst thou? Servant. Whom wouldst thou serve? You. Dost thou know me, fellow? No, sir, but you have that in your countenance which I would fain call master. What's that? Authority. What services canst thou do? I can keep honest counsel, ride, run, mar a curious tale in telling it, and deliver a plain message bluntly, that which ordinary men are fit for. I am qualified in, and the best of me is diligence. How old art thou? Not so young, sir, to love a woman for singing, nor so old to dote on her for anything. I have years on my back, 48. Follow me. Thou shalt serve me, if I like thee no worse after dinner. I will not part from thee yet. Dinner, ho, dinner. Where's my knave, my fool? Give yon, and call my fool hither. You, Sierra, where's my daughter? So please you. What says the fellow there? Call the cloth pole back. Where's my fool, ho? I think the world's asleep. How now? Where's that mongrel? He says, my lord, your daughter is not well. Why came not the slave back to when I called him? Sir, he answered me in the roundest manner, he would not. He would not? My lord, I know not what the matter is, but to my judgment your highness is not entertained with the ceremonious affection as you were wont. There's a great abatement of kindness appears as well in the general dependence as in the duke himself also, and your daughter. Ah, sayest thou so? I beseech you, pardon me, my lord, if I be mistaken, for my duty cannot be silent when I think your highness wronged. Thou but rememberest me of mine own conception. I perceived a most faint neglect of late, which I rather blamed as my own jealous curiosity than as a very pretense and purpose of unkindness. I will look further into it. But where's my fool? I have not seen him this 2 days. Silence, my young ladies. Go into France, sir, the fool hath much pinned him away. No matter of that, I have noted it well. Go you and tell my daughter I would speak with. Go you, call hither my fool. Away, you, sir, you come, you hither, sir. Who am I, sir? My lady's father. My lady's father, my lord's knave, you horse and dog, you slave, you cur. I am none of these, my lord, I beseech your pardon. Do you bandy looks with me, you rascal? I'll not be struck, my lord. Not tripped, neither, you base football player? I thank thee, fellow, thou servest me, and I'll love thee. Come, sir, arise away, I'll teach you differences. Away, away. If you will measure your lover's length again, tarry. But away, go to, have you wisdom? So. Now, my friendly knave, I thank thee, there's earnest of thy service. Let me hire him too, here's my coxcomb. How now, my pretty knave, how dost thou? Sirrah, you had best take my coxcomb. Why, fool? Why, for taking one's part that's out of favour, nay, on thou canst not smile as the wind sits. Thou it catch cold shortly there takes my coxcomb. Why, this fellow has banished 2 on's daughters, and did a third his blessing against his will. If thou follow him, thou must needs wear my coxcomb. How now, nuncle? Would I had 2 coxcombs and 2 daughters? Why, my boy, if I gave them all my living, I'd keep my coxcomb myself. There's mine, begging another of thy daughters. Take heed, sir, the whip. Shoot the dog out of the kennel, he must be whipped out when lady be wretched. May stand by the fire and stink. A pestilence calls me. Sir, I'll teach thee a speech. Do, mark it, nuncle. Have more than thou showest, speak less than thou knowest, lend less than thou owest, ride more than thou goest, learn more than thou trowest, set less than thou throwest. Leave thy drink and thy whore, and keep in a door, and thou shalt have more, and 2 tins to a score. This is nothing, fool. Then 'tis like the breath of an unfeed lawyer. You gave me nothing for it. Can you make no use of nothing, nuncle? Why, no, boy, nothing can be made out of nothing. Prithee, tell him so much the rent of his land comes to. He will not believe a fool. A bitter fool. Dost thou know the difference, my boy, between a bitter fool and a sweet fool? No, lad, teach me. That lord that counsels thee to give away thy land, come place him here by me, do thou for him stand. The sweet and bitter fool will presently appear, the one not concealed or ever found out there. Dost thou call me a fool, boy? All thy other titles thou hast given away that thou wast born with. This is not altogether fool, my lord. No, faith, lords and great men will not let me. If I had a monopoly out, they would have parted aunts and ladies too. They will not let me have all fools to myself. They'll be snatching, nuncle. Give me an egg, and I'll give thee 2 crowns. What 2 crowns shall they be? Why, after I have cut the egg, I the middle, and eat up the meat, the 2 crowns of the egg, when you clovest thy crown, I the middle, and gavest away both parts, thou borest nine ass on my back o'er the dirt. Thou hadst little wit thy balls down, and thou leavest thy golden one away. If I speak like myself in this, let him be whipped that first finds it so.
All stations, green light. We're deploying to the war zone.
When were you wont to be so full of songs, Sirrah? I have used it, nuncle, ever since thou madest thy daughters thy mothers, for when thou gavest them in rod puttest down thine own breeches. Then they for sudden joy did weep, and for sorrow sung, that such a king should play to bo peep, and go with fools among. Prithee, nuncle, keep a schoolmaster that can teach thy fool to lie. I would fain learn to lie. And you lie, Sirrah, we'll have you whipped. I marvel what kin thou and thy daughters are. They'll have me whipped for speaking true. They'll have me whipped for lying, and sometimes I am whipped for holding my peace. I'd rather be any kind of a thing than a fool, and yet I would not be thee, nuncle. Thou hast pared thy wit of both sides, and left nothing, I the middle. Here comes one, I the parent.
Enemies are dropping into the area.
How now, daughter, what makes thou frontlet on? Methinks you are too much of late, I the frown. Thou was a pretty fellow when thou hast not need care for her frowning. Now thou art out without a figure, I am better than thou art now. I am a fool, thou art nothing. Yes, forsooth, I will hold my tongue. So your face bids me, though you say nothing. Mum. He that keeps nor crust nor crumb, wherewithal shall want some. That's the shield priest. That's the shield peace card. Not only, sir, this your all licensed fool, but other insolent retinue do alley carp and quarrel, breaking forth and drink and not endure riots. Sir, I had thought by making this well known unto you, I found safe redress. But now grow fearful, but yourself too late have spoken done, that you protect this course, and put it on by your allowance, which if you should, the fault would not escape censure, nor this redresses sleep, which in the tenor of a wholesome weal, might in the work and do you that offence, which else were shame, then necessity will call discreet proceeding. For you trow, nuncle, the head sparrow fed the cuckoo so long that it had its head bit off by its young. So out went the candle, and we were left darkling. Are you our daughter? I would you would make us use of your good wisdom. Whereof I know you are fraught, and you put away those dispositions which of late transform you from what you rightly are, may not an ass know when the cart draws the horse? Whoop, Jug, I love thee. Does any here know me? This is not Lear. Does Lear walk thus? Speak thus? Where are his eyes? Either his notion weakness, his discerning, are lethargied. Ah, waking? 'Tis not so. Who's it that can tell me who I am? Lear's shadow. I would learn that, for by the marks of sovereignty, knowledge, and reason, I should by false persuaded I had daughters, which they would make an obedient father. Your name, sir gentlewoman? This admiration, sir, is much or the favor of other your new praying. I do beseech you to understand my purposes. I ride as your old and reverend should be wise. Here do you keep 100 knights and squires, men to disorder, so debauched and hold, that this our court infected with their manners shows like a riotous inn. Epicurism and lust make it more like a tavern or a brothel than a graced palace. The shame itself does speak for instance remedies, and be then desired for her that else will take the thing she begs. A little disquantity your train, and the remainder that shall still depend to be such men as they besort your age, which now is themselves in you. Darkness and devils. Saddle my horses, call my train together, degenerate bastard. I'll not trouble thee, yet have I left a daughter. You strike my people, and your disordered rabble make servants of their betters. Woe, that too late repents. Oi, sir, are you come? Is it your will? Speak, sir. Prepare my horses. In gratitude, thou marble-hearted fiend, more hideous when thou showest thee in a child than the sea monster. Pray, sir, be patient. Detested kite, thou liest. My train are men of choice and rarest parts, that are all particulars of duty know, and in the most exact regard support the worshipping of their name. O most small fault, how ugly didst thou in Cordelia show, which like an Indian wretch my frame of nature from the fixed place drew from my heart all love, and added to a gall. O Lear, 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 bear at this gate that let thy folly in, and thy dear judgment out. Go, go, my people. My lord, I am guiltless as I am ignorant of what hath moved you. It may be so, my lord. Here, nature here, dear God is here. Suspend thy purpose if thou didst intend to make this creature fruitful, and to her womb convey sterility. Dry up in her organs of increase, and from her derogate body never spring a babe to honor her. As she must teen create her child of spleen, that it may live and be athwart this natured torment to her. Let it stamp wrinkles in her brow of youth, with cadent tears fret channels in her cheeks, turn all her mother's pains and benefits to laughter and contempt, that she may feel how sharper than a serpent's tooth it is to have a thankless child. Away, away! Now, gods that we adore, wherefore comes this? Never afflict yourself to know this because, but let the disposition have that scope that dotage gives it. What, fishing my followers of the clap within a fortnight? What's the matter, sir? I'll tell thee. Death, I am ashamed. That thou hast power to make my manhood thus? That these hot tears which break from my perforce should make thee worth them, blasts and fogs upon thee? The untinted woundings of a father curse pierce every sense about thee. Old fond eyes, beweep this cause again, I'll pluck ye out and cast you with the waters that you lose to temper clay. Yeah, has it come to this? Let it be so. I have another daughter, who I am sure is kind and comfortable. When she shall hear this of thee, with her nails she'll flay the wolfish visage. Thou shalt find that I'll resume the shape which thou dost think I have cast off forever, thou shalt I warrant. Do you mark that? I cannot be so partial, Goneril, to the great love I bear you. Pray you contend what Oswald ho. You, sir, more knave than fool after your master. Nuncle Lear, tarry, and take the fool with thee. A fox when one hath caught her, and such a daughter should sure to the slaughter, if my cap would buy a halter, till the fool falls after. This man hath good counsel. 100 knights, 'tis politic and safe to let him keep at point 100 knights, yes. That on every dream, each buzz, each fancy, each complaint, dislike, he may enguard his dotage with her powers, and hold our lives in mercy. Oswald, I say. Well, you may fear too far. Safer than trust too far, let me still get away. The harms I fear, not fear still to be taken, I know his heart. What he hath uttered I have writ my sister, if she sustained him and his 100 knights, when I have showed the unfitness. How now, Oswald? Would have you writ that letter to my sister? Ay, madam. Take you some company and away to horse. Inform her for my particular fear, and thereto add such reasons of your own, and as you compacted more, get you gone, and hasten your return. No, no, my lord. This milky gentleness and course of yours, though I condemn not, yet under pardon you are much more tasked for want of wisdom than praised for harmful mildness. How far your eyes may pierce I cannot tell. Striving to better, oft we mar what's hell. Nay then, well, the event. Scene 5. The court before the same. Go you before to Glasgow with these letters. Acquaint my daughters no further with anything you know than comes from her the man out with the letter. If your diligence be not speedy, I shall be there before you. I will not sleep, my lord, till I have delivered your letter. If a man's brains were in heels, wert not in danger of kibes. Ay, boy, then I prithee be merry. Thy wit shall not go slip a shod. Ha, ha, ha. Shalt see thy other daughter will use thee kindly. For though she's as like this as a crab is like an apple, yet I can tell what I can tell. What canst tell, boy? She'll taste as like this as a crab does to a crab. Thou canst tell why one's nose stands side the middle on a face? No. Why, to keep one's eyes of either side knows that what a man cannot smell out he may spy into. I did her wrong. Canst tell how an oyster makes its shell? No. Nor I neither, but I can tell why a snail has a house. Why? Why, to put his head in, not to give it away in his daughters, and leave his horns without a case. I will forget my nature so kind a father, be my horses ready. Thy asses are gone about him, the reason why the 7 stars are no more than 7 is a pretty reason, because they are not 8. Yes, indeed, thou wouldst make a good fool, to take it against perforce, monster ingratitude. If thou wert my fool, nuncle, I have thy beaten for being old before thy time. How's that? Thou shouldst not have been old before thou hadst not been wise. Oi, not be mad, not mad, sweet heaven. Keep me in temper, I would not be mad. How now, are the horses ready? Ready, my lord, come boy. She's at a maid now, and laughs at my departure. Shall not be a maid long, unless things be cut shorter.